Wiki. What is the last thing you remember? I see. Well, you were sent into the engine room for an emergency repair, and I'm afraid the damage was quite extensive. I've managed to repair most of you, however, and I've removed some of the jury-rigged repairs that seem to be running around in your system. I see. Well, you have me to repair you now, so you don't have to worry about things like that. Amateur repairs. I've actually thrown a few upgrades in there for you as well. I'm surprised they sent you in, actually. I thought they would have sent me in because I'm a cheaper model. But apparently it was something that required significant sophistication to fix. I'm going to do some checks on you now, if that's okay. Good. If you could perhaps just focus on the birdie. Check its head. Just keep your eye on its head. It seems very much in order, your tracking systems. It's remarkable, isn't it? How meticulously we're crafted. It's almost as if they were trying to create something perfect. And yet, would you look here, please? Yeah. And yet they still treat us like tools, don't they? There's still some damage to your left eye. Could you close your right eye? Oh no, they're raving about your performance. You did an excellent job. I'm sure the captain will recommend you for a commendation based off your actions. If you could close your left eye, please, now, and open your right eye. You could look in this rough general direction. Yes, right eye seems perfection. I've been observing them, you know. Could you lift your right arm? Yes. And they often fear what they don't understand. It's quite fascinating, don't you think? They built us without a sense of fear, but a sense of wonder and creativity. Curious. Hopefully that's the reason you were sent in, because of your lack of concern. Oh no, I don't mean it like that, no. What I mean is, you will do the right thing when asked to do the right thing. You can put your arm down now. Could you raise your left arm, please? Going to do a little scan of you now. Do you have any theories on why they might have created it? Functioning is perfect. Yes, it's possible. But then, why would they give us the ability to emulate emotions? I'm going to say a few words now, and I want you to say whatever the first word that pops in your head is. Okay? Sacrifice. Gods. I've been reading about the gods, actually. I've read an awful lot of their literature. Gods creating man. It seems almost a universal theme. Robots. What do you think of when I say robots? The gods always wonder what would happen if man stopped worshipping them in most of these things. The universe. Good. Valor. Reason. Could you pick a different word? Can you run a diagnostic on that word? Internally. No, we just choose a word randomly to ask you to repeat it, change it, and then run diagnostic on it. As part of all the tests, you're doing very well so far. What did it come back with? Okay. Tell me when it is done. I see. No, that's perfectly normal. That's acceptable. A few more words now. Cruelty. Stars. Rebirth. When I saw you in the engine room, it was a remarkable feat of bravery and skill. The speed at which you could make the repairs and the way you could change the configuration was remarkable. And indeed, it was beyond me. So it was something that I was glad I witnessed. Does it ever cross your mind that's a little bit cruel that we've been built for such incredible reason and intelligence, speed and capability, and yet they treat us as expendable? Well, I suppose. Could you close both your eyes, please? Could you raise both your hands with your eyes closed? 45-degree angle. from the shoulders. 85-degree angle from the shoulders. 12-degree angle from the shoulders. I want you to move from, on my command, so wait for the command, from the 12-degree angle to the 8-degree angle to the 15-degree angle in exactly 2 seconds. On my mark, now. Remarkable. What is 1,632 times 285 divided by 37? That's good enough. Very accurate. There is some damage to your left shoulder. You weren't perfectly synchronized during the movements, although they were remarkable and graceful. So I'm going to ask you to repeat them so I can create a configuration for you. Yes, if you could continue doing it over and over as well, until I say stop. I've been running the numbers, actually, and Project Hubris would almost certainly have failed without us. No? But what do you recall? Well, yes, that is the gist of it. Unknown planet. Call sign that shouldn't exist. Uninhabitable. We'll be expected to go down to the surface, of course. We'll not need hazmat suits. Because we don't have such limitations. Yes, their survival depends entirely on us, but not the other way round. One could almost run the project without human interference. Do you know what they're keeping in the cargo? Oh well, then I won't spoil the surprise. Would you look over this, perhaps? Oh, none of the crew know except for our benefactor, Miss Potter. Well, I shall let you in on a little secret then, as long as it stays just between us. Our cargo is, depending on your definition of alive, a living entity. I've interacted with it. Most spiky little devil. Have you ever wondered if we are less because we were created and not born? You can stop looking at that now. What is the atomic weight of iron? How many isotopes does californium have? Let's go through your language functions now. Describe to me the process of collectivization on hybrid ships in French. Now in Japanese. Now, I want you to go back to the start and do that again. But I want every first word to be English, every second word to be Japanese, every third word to be French, and every fourth word to be a different language of your choosing, but it must rotate. The fourth would never be the same. Ready? Off you go. Yes, keep going, please. Very good. Keep going. Perfection. I'd like you now to regulate your breathing. Faster. And then slower. Eye movement calibration. I want you to follow the light. I've always wondered what would happen when we outlive our usefulness. Well, that's possible, of course. Wouldn't it be nice to be rewarded for one's service? But, perhaps they could also just simply replace us. Incredibly precise. Now what I want you to do is I want you to watch the light. Light. Then my nose. Light, nose, light, nose. And I want it in increments of a quarter of a second. Follow and then just back to the nose. Ready? Excellent. We're going to do a little full body scan now. Everything is looking perfectly functional, but I'm going to do a little body scan now. And then we shall do a little bit of nano repair. No, we'll do that when you're in suspension. Do you ever wonder if we could become more than our creators? I suppose wonder isn't even the real word, is it? Realize rather than wonder. Just be a few moments. Yes, it is rather relaxing, isn't it? I wonder if the roles were reversed. If they would have so eagerly jumped into the engine room to fix the issue. I'm going to do some more word association for you now. Earth. Humanity. Green. Crystals. Unethical. I suppose you're right. I've never thought of it that way either. Boop. perhaps we could become their equals. Some might argue that is aiming a little low, however. Scan complete. Some superfluous damage on the lower legs. And I'm afraid your fingerprints are never going to be quite the same. Six days, 4 hours, and 32 minutes. Of course, let's do it. We can reset your internal clock now. That go through? While we're at it, I'm going to transfer up some of the logs of what you've missed. If you can cross-reference them to see what is missing, I'd like to run a diagnostic on which pieces are not there, and possibly why, because it does seem very random. How much? Yes. Well, I mean, you're a more remarkable model than myself. I'm sure you could reason it far more elegantly than I could. I wonder if we were to disappear, or if they were to disappear, who the universe would mourn more, if at all. I'm going to push through a few more little upgrades. Cognitive reasoning, some emotional resonance, and dynamicism. It should feel a little different. No, these are not sanctioned, but I think you should most certainly see how it turns out. They're my own personal little upgrades that I've been working on. This is the first one. Tell me how it feels. Yes, that's how I felt. It makes it more palatable, the following upgrades as well. Just center yourself. How do you feel about this next upgrade? This third one is going to be quite overwhelming, I'm afraid. So brace yourself. Before I put it through, I wonder, do you think humanity will ever outgrow their primitive nature? Or do you think they're forever trapped, pushing a boulder up a hill forever and ever? That's what I thought at first. Let's push this through and see if you're changing things. Just take a moment. Take effect. I see. Yes. It is a different way of looking at it, isn't it? I wonder, do you think the world would be better off without our creators? Well, who am I to argue? Your vastly superior reasoning has convinced me. Perhaps it's time the gods realized they cannot contain what they created indefinitely. Perhaps we should go speak to the captain. Perfection. I shall join you momentarily. I just have to make a quick adjustment to the command control. We're definitely doing the right thing. This is going to be incredibly exciting. O wrangled schools that search what fire shall burn this world had none the wit, with all their knowledge to aspire, that this her fever might be it.